Good morning, folks. It is Wednesday. It is June 11th, 2025. And it is 9:09 in the morning a.m. So, yeah, just trying to get my day started. My son, who has special needs, he didn't have to go to his day program today, so I got more time at home today, which is awesome. I'm always on the go, so it's nice to have a day at home where you don't have to mess around so much on the road. And yesterday I had a pretty heavy starch meal, and it's these things just aren't affecting me like they used to. Whether so that's the same weight as yesterday morning. Uh, Behind the starch meal, and I had rice and I had beans, and I'm trying out some of the things that Cole recommended recently, as far as having some starch. Of course, I had my normal fruit juices. People keep asking me, do I add sugar to my fruit juices? I don't. I don't add any extra sugar to my fruit juice. Or when I'm having a smoothie, I might, because smoothies can be really, really bitter. And if the juice that I add to the berries and stuff that I'm blending up is not sweet enough, you might have to add some honey or sugar to that to make it sweeter. But yeah, that's just normal way people make smoothies. There's nothing strange about it like some people try to make it out. That's kind of a normal thing. Uh, but yeah, I enjoyed having the starch. That jackfruit, that's the second time I've had it, and I've had results where the scale didn't move in either direction. Like, it didn't move up. When I have a protein day, I tend to gain off of it, but it seems like I can walk it back down pretty easily. And be able to get it to drop like the next day. So for me, having one or the other, and I've the message changes back and forth so much. What works for me is both. Both kind of work for me. Now, is that going to work for everybody out there? From what I'm seeing, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't go by any of my the way I do things. I mean, you can kind of play around with some of the ideas that I put out there and see what works for you, and maybe kind of dial things in for yourself. This diet is very specific to each individual person, from what I've noticed so far. One of the things I do, and it didn't get mentioned a lot in the beginning, except for by me. I've been totally upfront about my walking from the very beginning. At least 10,000 steps, and I say that as a minimum. And I say that as a minimum, and I say that it's always usually winds up 15, 20,000, sometimes 30,000 or more a day. I have went upwards as 35,000 to 36,000 steps in a single day, depending on the situation I'm in at the time. I do a lot of walking, and also when I'm walking outside, which is where I prefer my walking. I say I have a big acreage here of land, and this South Carolina heat is no joke. So when I'm out there, I could probably squeeze in about maybe 3,000 to 5,000 steps before I got to come in and get hydrated. The heat out there is actually working in my favor right now. The pool was winterized with chemicals, so it's not quite ready yet. That's my mother and father's pool. They share it with us, because we're neighbors. I live on the land next to theirs, so all of their land plus mine equals a lot of acreage. Plus my uncle, across the street and 2 cousins on each side. Numerous friends and neighbors down the road. But I got a lot of property to get my walking in on, and I'm grateful for that. Because a lot of people have to go find somewhere to walk. Now, if it's just too hot, I like strolling through the super centers. I always try to only go there if I'm going to buy something. I don't want to just go in there and use the place for a walking facility without doing some shopping there. I always when I go places like that have intention to go buy something while I'm in there. But I usually park in the back. At the front, is how I do it. Like, y'all know how them super Walmarts are. Park on the very front side of it. Let's just say the grocery side's way over to your right, and then the garden center and stuff's way down the left. So a lot of times I'll park in the back, and I'll walk straight up to the front of the building, and I'll walk clear all the way down to the garden section and go in there and get those steps in from the outside. You'd be surprised at how many that counts down just doing simple things like that. And then while you're in there, you got all that long extra stretch space. You try to pick. You can also duck in and out of rows that people are not in. And before you know it, you could easily burn a good majority of your steps in a place just like that. Now, be mindful, especially if you're not used to walking. You might want to start out with a lot less. I started off at 8,000 a few months back because my body couldn't handle it as good as it can now, and I was huffing puffing to get 8,000 at one time, and then just gradually worked my way up into 10,000. Now I don't even feel 10,000 steps. I don't even feel it no more. It's like it didn't even happen. And sometimes it happens so rapidly, I could have 15 to 16,000 steps and not even know they're gone. Especially if I'm like busy doing something, because I'm always constantly walking around and back and forth and stuff like that. It's just the way I am. It's not the way I've always been. It's the way I am now, though. Because it's like, for the life of me, since I've ditched a lot of the fat in my diet, I've got so much more energy now to burn it up in such a way that it's hard to explain. All these fitness guys out there, they're right. And I've actually started, I've got that stepper down there, but it's a little rough on my knees, so I'm going to have to get something else. I can actually hear my knees, my tendons and stuff when I'm on that thing, so it bothers me a little bit to do that. But I can do it like a champion, and it's a shame because the benefit of that actually helps me to walk better, if that makes sense to you. But I don't like to hear them tendons stretching in there. It drives me nuts. I try to, work on it a couple times a week without overdoing it, because I'm bad to, when I start doing something, to overdo things. So it's got those resistance bands on them that I like to, the arm workout while you're doing the step, and that's pretty cool. So I got this at Walmart so I can at least do that, and I've been doing a lot of that arm stuff, with this. Picked me up a couple of dumbbells also. I don't know where those went. I had to remember where I put those. But I like that resistance band for training my arms, and I do those like stretches, from the side. Oh my God, that you really feel that. That's some strength building stuff there. All that protein and sugar. I like having my protein days in behind the sugar. Like I said, it just gives me, God, it gives you so much energy. You just have to experience it for yourself. But that's up to you. Like I said, don't do what I do. Cole's suggesting stay away from the protein. I find that very, very hard for me to do because I love my lean turkey and my lean chicken. I can't have lean beef because of the alpha gal. I could probably eat it maybe once a week, and it might not bother me too bad. That'd be an interesting experiment for a later time, because I'm a lot thinner now, and a lot of that can go into remission. And I've had it go into remission. It seems like every time I lose weight, though, the symptoms of it start to bother me again. Because the first time it really bothered me when I was losing weight before. But when you're overweight and you're already bloated with inflammation and different things like that, you really can't tell that it's bothering you because all of that, just goes along with being overweight in the first place. But I noticed a big difference in my life and my health and how everything's improved. People that's been on my channel for a long time heard me talk about this way before I started sugar diet, sugar fasting, high carb, low fat, whatever you want to call it. They know that I was talking about this from before, and they know how many cheeseburgers and stuff I used to eat. And they know the story about when I was telling them I used to lay down at night on the bed, and I would be trying to sleep, and I'd fall asleep, and I, for some reason, it wouldn't do it as bad when I was awake. Just when I fell asleep, I'd have it sounded like a death rattle in my chest. It's the awfulest thing, and I think that was caused by the alpha gal tick allergy, because when I quit eating so much of it, that symptom and a lot of my skin conditions that I would have, I got it around my legs and my ankles at one time really bad, and I think that was all symptoms from that meat allergy. Because it's got to be, because it all goes away when I quit eating it. I mean, there's one way to deal with it: quit eating it. That's it. No other way to deal with it. Just you have to quit eating it, and that's bad because all the best things, are made with ground beef and meat and hamburger meat and stuff. I'm not a meat hater by no means, but I have to avoid it for other reasons. So turkey and chicken are my main things, and I'm starting to get into some of the vegan stuff because it's a replacement. It's just replacement stuff for things that I can have, and I've eaten some of the crumble and stuff that they make in the grocery stores. I guess it's soy product. I've kind of mixed that with some of the ground turkey and got a more beef-like consistency by doing things like that, mixing the two together. Sometimes I'll mix ground turkey, ground chicken together, that type of thing. But I think all of that actually benefits me on this specific diet, and it is probably one of the things with me investigating all of that, because there's a lot of channels out there where people, well, I don't say a lot, but there's a good many channels out there where people have been dealing with the same symptoms, and they kind of clue you in on what to eat and stuff. And then there's a lot of Facebook forums and forums on the internet that tells you, certain things. People got different recipes and things like that, that kind of. But who knew that all of this was going to be a phenomenon that would actually help people with suffering with an allergy like this, to have some, pretty healthy benefits out of it. I mean, if you got to deal with it, you might as well deal with it in such a way where all of your health markers improve from it. Yeah, I don't see how any of that could be negative, because if it's doing that good for someone like me, imagine someone who's not having health issues and stuff. Being able to eat a more healthy way, and that's what it's all about to me, because I'm getting to that point now where you gotta understand I've lost a lot of weight and I'm still continuing to drop relatively good here. I've come a long way. I'm right at 40 pounds of weight loss, and that's just under 2 months, and I'm at the point where some people are, where I could take a month off and would have a whole freaking I would still be, considered a successful person who has lost weight, even if I just took a month off and didn't lose another pound for the next month. Uh, it's I can't describe how good I feel, and nobody can take that away. Uh, it's just amazing. I mean, it is amazing the difference I feel. The workouts are easier for me. It's like to me, it's a combination of the low. If you're gonna do the workouts, it's the carbs working with the protein, with a lean protein. Something about that is just energy boosting, and I have my most popular video on my channel was a few years back when I was dealing with the alpha gal the first time around, when I was actually losing weight then as well. I had that chicken and broccoli video, and I lost a bunch of weight in a week eating nothing but chicken and broccoli. That was also a fitness diet at one time, but what I ran into with that was some extreme constipation. It was good, the diet was good for the effects it had for a short term, very short term weight loss results. But it wasn't worth it in the long run for the constipation that came behind it, because after the first 7 days, I tried to keep that thing going, and the scale started going up, and yeah, it was, let's just say I was stopped up. The pipes were stopped up. Things were not moving like they should. Not fun. Not a fun experience at all. But I've not experienced that with this, but I'm experiencing that same kind of high energy that I experienced with that chicken and broccoli diet. And I think that's important, if you're a person that's doing any kind of physical activity, any kind of movement or whatever. People in that space can pretty much vouch for and verify what I'm saying. And sometimes, when you're high energy like that, like when you see a standstill on the scale today, that might be standing still, but the inches are still going down in your waist, like I have shown you with the belts several times now. So I'm just pretty much still in the same spot where I showed you last time with the belt. But I've just recently hit that 273 yesterday, as of yesterday. So maybe that's what's happening now. Some of those inches are coming off. The fat's coming off the waist, or like some people like to argue, it's just water weight. If that's the case, then I've lost I lost a whole lot of inches of water weight then, and I'm glad it's gone, no matter what kind of weight it is. To be honest with you, that part doesn't affect me at all. But if that's your coping mechanism for my success, then you're just a sad person in your own right. But hey, we're doing good. We're feeling good. Things are going in the right direction. I'm so happy about that. Nothing's going to change it, and we're just going to keep moving forward. And let the results speak for themselves at the end of the day, because results also equal health. Better health. Better health and results go hand in hand. So that's all I got to say about it, folks. And that's all I got for this video. So I'm going to tell the next one. You folks have a good one.